Oh, Sean, you've got me, honestly. That's... Sean, what's the cringiest thing that you've done in your life?
Duncan Booth, welcome to Question Roulette.
Thank you very much for having me. I feel very privileged.
Yes, well, you're also the first Question Roulette of 2026, so thank you for being the first cab off the rank this year.
No problems. What have you been doing for the last few months then?
Shh, not saying anything. So, firstly, Duncan, imagine that I've never met you before. Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
I am turning 59, so I'm starting my 60th year in June. So there you go, straight off with the old age.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have retired down to this little community of Harvey 4 years ago and absolutely love it. So I'm very much entrenched in the Harvey scene, I suppose. Love the fact that we've moved to a small community, and that was... So yeah, a big community sort of guy. That's who I am. I love the radio station. You know, I've been involved with that now for 3 years. That's just another volunteer community group. Men's shed, ukulele, darts, bowls, everything. Too busy in retirement. Can't believe I had time to work, to be honest.
Well, I guess better to keep busy in retirement.
Yeah, it's great. Never been busier, to be honest. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and obviously you're doing 3 days a week here doing breakfast at the radio station. I did see you do Monday, Thursdays and Fridays. Why those 3 days of the week?
That's right, 7:30 to 10 a.m. Well, I sort of get myself a little bit of a break. I have my weekend break, and then I also get to have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off as well. So, but yeah, it's busy. In fact, a lot of the community groups don't meet on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so they are days when I can nip off to Perth or do my stuff.
Yeah, a bit of free time.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy your retirement, right?
Oh, enjoying it immensely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll take you over the rules. Mm-hmm. So in here, I've got 200 counters, tokens, whatever you want to call them. 100 of them have got a blue coloured. 100 of them are black coloured.
Okay.
The difference between the two is that the blue ones are linked to questions which are not so serious, and the black ones are linked to questions which are more serious. Mm-hmm. Your job is to choose 5 of the black ones and 5 of the blue ones.
Okay.
And from there, we will do an interview based on what you've chosen.
All right.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh, golly. Oh, my first celebrity crush.
Yes.
If you ask my wife, my current one would be Scarlett Johansson, but that's not true. That's not true. But anyway,
long-lasting crush, but not the first.
I'll take it. Really, the first crush, celebrity crush. Oh, jeepers. I'm sure it was probably one of my teachers, something like that, even though they might not be celebrity to... I remember Miss Wielen. Oh, she was a celebrity to us. Oh, I don't know. I haven't been a big one for falling in love with celebrities. I honestly, I can't think of who it would have been back then. I tell you what, the girl from Letters and Numbers, she's Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel. She can be my first. How's that? Rachel from 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown.
Yeah.
That one, Letters and Numbers, she'll do. Yeah.
I mean, she's a pretty good one, I think.
Yeah. If you're watching, Rachel.
And also pretty smart as well.
Oh, well, that is actually, a very attractive thing to me. My wife, Sally, she's very, very clever. And yeah, I think that's a huge attraction.
Yeah, and you're saying Scarlett Johansson earlier. Any particular reason?
I don't know. Sally pulled that one out and she said it to me one day, or she mentioned it to someone else, of course, I might have just said that, yeah, she's not bad.
Maybe it's just one of those things where maybe your wife's like, okay, I think he has a type. Is it something?
Yeah, maybe
like
she'd
that?
just be happy because she's so out of reach. I don't know.
What is the cringiest thing you have done?
The cringiest thing I've done? Oh, that's...
I didn't say the questions were going to be easy, Duncan.
Golly, the most cringy thing. I've done so many cringy things.
What's the first that comes to mind?
Well, there's not a lot coming to mind at the moment. Maybe going on a podcast and not being able to answer the questions quickly. That's pretty cringy.
It's all right. That's why we edit things out.
Look, I speak my mind a lot, and I suppose that people can go, oh, golly. But yeah, I think just being honest with people, and maybe in this day and age, people hold themselves back a lot more. But yeah, maybe it's my honesty. Is that too honest?
No, but I wouldn't say that's cringy though.
Well, it can be. It can be if you're swimming against the tide. People can go, oh golly, why do you say that? I don't know. I really genuinely don't know how to answer that question. I know that I've just said that I do lots of cringy things, but what I find cringy in comparison to other people, yeah, I don't know.
Is there anything that your wife's gone, did you have to do that, Duncan?
All the time, but I don't necessarily believe that would be cringy. I had a flat top for quite a while back in the 80s when madness was it was a big thing in my life. Not madness as in I'm mad, but the band Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, 80s haircuts, looking back now.
Well, of course, yes. Yeah. I think the whole 80s was a bit cringy. But yeah, maybe doing breakdancing with my mate. Not that I was a breakdancer, don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely better than our Olympic breakdancer.
Ray Gun.
Ray Gun, oh my Lord. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of cringy stuff. Maybe I just let that go in my life.
Yeah.
I just move on from those things.
Yeah. Que sera, whatever will be, will be.
It's very true.
What is your greatest achievement?
Well, I think getting to this age and not being badly scarred. I've stuffed up my knees and I've done a whole lot of things through sport. But, well, I think the greatest achievement in my life was to be able to move away from the city and move into a country town, to be honest, or a country community, as I like to call it. We all, well, not all of us, but a lot of people do get stuck in their own little rut and living in an area or whatever. And when Sal and I decided to retire, we wanted to change our life completely. And so I think it's a big achievement to come down here. So many people go, oh, it's so brave, but it wasn't really that brave. It was exciting.
Yeah.
And it's added an immense happiness to our life. We are just thrilled to have made that change. But we sold the business that we had. And, we were working very busily in that, retired, sold the house up there, moved down here, didn't know anyone down here at all. And it seems as if, I can't walk through the town without stopping and talking with someone and waving. And it's great. So to be able to just go, right, let's make a big change in our lives. I think it's pretty cool achievement, one that I'm proud of, that we did make the change and come down here, and we're very, very happy for doing it.
Yes, definitely. And what was your first impressions of Harvey when you moved here?
Well, I kind of knew Harvey a little bit. I did work for a short time for Origin Energy, a gas company, LPG company, and so in the country, you haven't got reticulated gas, so I moved through these areas. But Harvey was definitely the most driven past town in the southwest.
Is it because, a lot of the towns here in the southwest, and particularly around this region, they're obviously the main streets along the southwestern highway, do you think? Well, that
was a big factor actually for us to choose Harvey, because the town isn't split in two. But Harvey's just been a sleepy little town in my mind, not a big town, at all, and a lot of the people that we knew up in Perth had holiday homes in Dunsborough or Margaret River and in fact my first wife was from Margaret River, so we used to drive past here down to Margaret River and drive past Mile Up and places like that, but I didn't know how beautiful the beach is down there, and I didn't really know the community here in Harvey. So Harvey was a town that I knew of, but I didn't know. And I think that's sort of the way a lot of people think of Harvey, especially from if you're living in Perth. It's a town you drive past.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you miss the least about Perth?
I used to say to people, I was saying to Sally for a while, well, first of all, I used to say I don't want to live in the country. I had a girlfriend who lived in Kojonup, and the house that she had there was in the middle of a farm, so no one could hear you scream type thing. And I didn't want to be in that sort of situation. I like people. I like to be around people. And so I never thought that I'd move to a country town. And I was saying to Sal that coming down our street, you'd have your neighbours and, we know them, and I'm always waving at people, always waving, and I always have done. But people would drive down the street and they would click their roller door button and up would go their roller door. I'd drive past, hi, how you do? And then bang, the roller door comes down.
Yeah, you'd never see them.
It's crazy. And so here it's very, very different. It's very social. It's great. So the one thing that I miss the least about being up there is the impersonal sort of nature of a big city. There you go.
Yeah. You get to meet a lot of people here quickly.
Yeah, you do. And being retired, we first of all, we basically took a year off and just did nothing except explore the surroundings and going to all the small country towns and having lunch out and finding little beaches and walks around the place and just basically, we've driven down, I found a road the other day. I hadn't driven down Partridge Road in Benja, and it was like, there's a road I haven't driven down,
Let's go explore.
So I did. I said, Sal, we're going to turn down here. You haven't been down here before, so we both drove down it. Getting out and about for that first year was brilliant, and then really getting into the community side of things has been exceptional here.
Haven't regretted a thing.
Really, seriously, haven't. We've actually, we haven't done it for the last week or so, but very, very often we'll just, Sal and I look at each other and go, we're so lucky. This is just great. We've fallen on our feet here.
What does your average workday look like?
Well, 6:45 my alarm goes off to get here for a 7:30 start on Mondays, Thursdays and Fridays. But I don't usually leave the house until about 24 minutes past 7. It's shocking. And I will come in and and it'll be like 3 minutes before I'm on air and I just come in here. So then we'll sit inside the little studio talking into my microphone. But I do get as many guests in as I possibly can to the radio station, which is really nice. It's Your Town Talking is our tagline, so I try to live up to that with the show. But then 10:15, I'm out of here. I'll be going off to ukulele on a Monday. I'll be going to the men's shed on a Thursday. I used to do quite a bit of yoga, and then it began to clash with these other things that I took on. So that used to be part of it. But riding my bike around town, having lunch at the Curious Cockatoo Cafe or Harvey Connect. I've got darts on a Thursday night, bowling club on a Friday night. So my days, even though it's not really my work day, but I'm out and about. Here we are on a Saturday afternoon recording this, but because I'm not working,
You've got that flexibility.
Every day's the same sort of thing in retirement. But yeah, this morning I was at Run Club, which is 7:30 on a Saturday morning. About 50 people gather down at our soccer field and we go for a half an hour exercise and then off to the Curious Cockatoo for a debrief. Then I came in here to see my mate Michael, who's on air here, before my 9 o'clock start at the men's shed. Went to the men's shed until midday. Called in at the bowling club on the way home because I knew bowlers were there. Just called in, said hi, to wish them luck, and then went home for a little bit of a break, and then back out again. So that's really what my working day is like. Any day of the week, I try to get out and about as much as I can, and enjoy the opportunities, the community opportunities that we have. I've learnt ukulele since we've been here. Haven't mastered it. Haven't really got close to mastering it. It sounds horrendous, but love it. Within a group of people, and then you get to meet a whole lot of other people. Same sort of interests.
Yes. How did you end up getting into ukulele in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. How did I do that? Well, with my breakfast show, I try to share as many things that are happening around the community, whether it's in Brunswick or Yarloop or Cookanup or Leschenault or wherever. So I'm reading out all this list of stuff. Don't forget today at 1 o'clock at Harvey Connect, you can get along for the advanced ukulele on a Thursday or whatever it is. I just thought that'd be pretty cool. I haven't played an instrument since I played trombone really, really badly as a primary school kid. But I just thought, why not join in the fun? We've got the Hugs ukulele group here in town. I've invited them into the studio to as guests. And I just thought they look as if they're having fun. So music is a good thing.
Yeah, why not join in?
Yeah, a little bit of brain plasticity, it's good.
Yeah. You were saying earlier that you sort of leave your run a bit late getting to the studio. Have you ever been late for a broadcast?
Oh, people don't know. It's just another song flicks on, it's okay. No, I've been pretty good actually with my timings, but that's the type of bloke I am. I used to row. I used to do a lot of riverboat rowing and coaching of that. And that's very, very early in the morning. And I'd find that, I'd set my alarm for, 5 o'clock or whatever. And if I found that I was at the shed 3 minutes early, then I'd set my alarm for 5:03 the next day.
Get yourself that extra few minutes.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Just rocking in at the last minute. Yeah, does my wife's head in. But anyway, that's just me.
If you can pull it off, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. So far, so good.
Yeah. If you could learn one new skill easily, what would you choose?
Oh, well, I honestly, I consider myself a student of life. I'm trying to learn new stuff a lot. Working with my hands, I'd like to learn some metal working skills. I think that would be a good thing to be able to actually build, sort of be like a farmer. I know I'm surrounded by lots of farmers.
Yes, particularly here in Harvey.
Yeah, where you can just go, I'll fix that myself. I'll take that upon myself to build whatever I need. So, my major project right now is just fixing my sunglasses. I had to get the super glue out last night and do that. But yeah, it's good. And Men's Shed is a great thing for that. I've just completed making a slips machine, which is a cradle, a slips machine? It's a cradle that cricketers will stand at either end and throw the ball and it will bounce off at angles. So it's all about reactionary catching,
Coordination.
Yeah, but made that out of wood at the Men's Shed, and it was a brilliant project with lots of curves and angles, and so I made my little scale model of it. Then I made my full-size blueprints and everything. So that was good. That was a learning curve. I've never done woodworking stuff before, so besides the metalwork, woodwork is a good thing to learn as well.
Have you put it to the test yet?
Yeah, we have, and I said to the cricketers, because I'm going to donate it to the Harvey Bencher Cricket Club, and I said, we're making this, and it's just been this last weekend was the grand final for the cricket, so I'll present it to them at the start of next year, pre-season. But it took a while, but but it was just a learning curve and something that I got a lot of help from the guys down at the Men's Shed doing as well. So. Yeah, it's great. It just, from that little spark of an idea, it's kept me busy for many weeks, and other guys at the shed as well, and, and the community will benefit from it when I finally present it to the club as well.
Yeah, and helps with your connection as well, being involved with Men's Shed.
It's great. Another story for the Harvey Waroona Reporter, it'll be, no doubt.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Who is your longest lasting friendship with?
A guy called Dave Surveyor. He grew up in Karrinyup with me. He's over in the east now and has been in the east for many, many years. But we talk on the phone, regular chats. But yes, I've stayed in contact with quite a few people from my school days, from primary school. But yeah, he was, I think, grade 2, Dave.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
Definitely racking up a few runs on the board.
Yeah, so what's that, 50 years? Yeah. Yeah, so there you go, Dave Surveyor.
How do you keep a friendship going for so long?
You don't annoy each other, I suppose. Well, maybe we do annoy each other on occasions. Contact, open discourse, talking. Not, if something does annoy you, just address it, move on with it. You know, there's with friendships, you know, you've always got some sort of underlying love there, and you just got to make sure that's stronger than the annoyance.
Yes,
if there is annoyance at any stage, you know. But like Dave and I have, you know, we've gone through long periods of not talking. He's lived away. He was in New Zealand for a while and other places, but. Like with many blokes, when you catch up after a long time, how you doing, mate? Yeah, great. What have you been up to? Not much. Good. You want a beer? You can be very, very surface level, and but then when needed, you can get into deep conversations and talk things through with each other.
Yeah, you cannot see them for 2 years and then like have a 5-hour debrief.
Yeah.
When you catch up with each other.
And then when you go home to your wife. They go, how's Dave? What's he been up to? I don't know. We just, you don't have to get into really, really deep stuff. You can just be there for each other and just talk rubbish.
Yep. That's what mates are for.
That's what mates are for, exactly.
Yep. What was your first car?
My first car was an ex-taxi. My dad had taxis, and it was a CL bench seat Valiant that had done at that stage 375,000 Ks or something like that.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, it was on LPG, and so it was actually quite cheap to run. But yep, and the bench seat, of course, so we could fit a whole lot of people. But yeah, ex-taxi. There you go, the old white Valiant.
So, did you have much fun with it?
Yeah, it was good. We used to get out and about a lot. I was rowing at that stage as well, and I think I remember I got my licence on the 12th of December, on the morning of the 13th at 4:30 or whatever in the morning, whatever time it was that I was driving there, driving to Canning Bridge from Karrinyup on the freeway. Yeah, off we go. It wasn't like nowadays where you had to do 100 hours or whatever it is of learning. No, I just went off, had 2 lessons, I think. Got my license on the first shot, and off I went. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, very different time.
Very different time. Yeah. And that was up in the big smoke. Not like just driving the copper down to the shop or whatever for a newspaper and back, and there you go, son, there's your license, but not far off it, really.
Yeah. Would you say you're much into cars?
Oh, that's a question that you don't know. I love my Teslas. I've had a Tesla for 4 years. We've just bought our second one now, and I love tech. I really, really like tech, and so I drove my first car, a Model 3, Tesla Model 3, over to Queensland a couple of years ago, and straight across the Nullarbor, and came back via Broken Hill and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I do love those cars. I love the tech. I've just bought a new one, and it can drive itself. AI is going to make massive changes in the world, and one of them is going to give people freedom of mobility. There's a lady that is here in Harvey. She's completely blind, can't see a thing, and I took her for a drive in my car that drives itself. And like within the next 18 months, 2 years, she will be able to get out and about without having to ask someone to help her, to take her anywhere. She'll be able to get into her own car, jump in there, tell it where to go, just like Kit from Knight Rider. That's exactly what it's like. honestly, I have conversations with my car now. It's crazy. But that's going to help a lot of people. Yeah.
And with your Tesla, both your Model 3 and the one you've just got, fully electric?
Model Y. Yeah, fully electric. All Teslas are absolutely fully electric. There's a lot of mistruths being believed out there about EVs, but I don't think that it's the environmental thing that will be the forcing function for people to change over. And we are changing over. I've seen here in Australia, going from less than 1% of cars being sold being fully battery electric. Now we're at 16%, and it's just going to go vertical, basically. But it's the forcing function will be economics. They are so cheap to run. So cheap to run. It's incredible in comparison to an internal combustion engine car.
Yeah, and they're getting cheaper all the time as well with the upfront cost.
Yeah. Like it costs me nothing basically to run my car. And if you do have solar panels, more power to you. No one's got a petrol refinery in their backyard or on the roof of the house. But,
no, you can't just drill an oil well.
Yeah, that's right. Coming from an EV. If we were all driving EVs, for someone to say, hey, why don't we change over to this thing where you've got thousands of moving parts rather than just 20, yes, you can't lock yourself in the garage when it's on because it'll kill you. And, you have to go to a petrol station to get it. And, yeah, it's a completely different model.
We're at a community radio station, so I feel like this is a good question. What are your thoughts on Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I don't really like Taylor Swift. Don't really like Taylor Swift, to be honest. Look, she's great. She's empowering women or young girls. She's a role model. But personally, nothing special there for me.
Don't like the music.
No, there's a few songs that that I'll bop along to, but no. It's a no for me for Taylor Swift.
All right, might disappoint a few people, but that's fine.
Mind.
Everyone's got their own taste.
That's exactly right.
What type of music do you listen to outside of the community radio station?
I listen to a lot of different stuff. I change. I was quite integral with the changing of the music here at the station, and I chose bangers, as I like to say with my wife. I think that if we're just listening to music, I don't go out searching, But if I do come across something that I like, then great, I like. But I'm not into genres of particular music. I will like anything, especially with the ukulele. I'm finding that there are all these very old songs and some new ones as well. But you play along. But as long as it is one that gets you moving, gets you toe tapping a bit, I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of disco. Whether it's Janis Joplin or Freddie Mercury, or really, I've got a very eclectic mix of music. When I used to sit at parties, quite often I'd find myself drawn to the music, and I'd just go, right, CD collection, great. And I'd look through and I'd go, that's the one song off that CD I want to play, and play that and then get the next one song ready. Because, I just think bangers, if they've stood the test of time and people like them, that's what people are going to like to listen to, and I'm just one of those people, I think. Yeah.
Back to the ukulele. I know we've already chatted about it before, but Riptide by Vance Joy, have you tried doing that yet?
Yes, I know that is a very well-known ukulele song, and when I first started, because learning chords, you don't learn them all at once, and you find that after you've learned 4 chords or whatever, there's heaps of songs you can play just with those 4 chords. So I'm still trying to get my B minors and B flats, and they're just horrible with the fingers. But yes, I have tried it, but it was early on in the piece when I didn't have my full selection of chords, or enough of a selection of chords to play it. But yes, you've prompted me now to go back and have a look and see if I can do it. I know I've improved, but not according to my wife. But I should be able to have a go at Riptide,
Right. Well, keep me updated on how you go.
Maybe not. I won't send you a video.
Oh, come on. Have you ever chucked a sickie from work?
Well, yeah, I have chucked a sickie. Absolutely, I have. Yeah, most of my working life, though, was working for myself. Did I ever chuck a sickie when I worked for myself? Never at all. Because no, that's right. Because it wasn't the old lurk that you can just ring in and say, because I'm the boss. There's no point in telling myself. But I would take time off if I needed to. But yes, of course I have chucked a sickie. There's been reasons. There's been new girlfriends or something, something to stay at home for.
Yeah. Is there anyone that sort of stands out to you a lot?
Oh, no, see, now I'm thinking about new girlfriends, so I can't talk about those.
Don't want to upset the wife.
Yeah, she'd be fine. She would be fine. Maybe she was one of the new girlfriends that I chucked a sickie for. Yeah, it's an interesting one, the old sickie, isn't it? The great Australian sickie.
Yeah. Very much a part of Australian culture.
Yeah. But, they're given away. People will take the opportunity. Yeah, so yes, I have chucked a sickie. Which one was the most important? I don't know. But yeah, but when you do work for yourself and you are sick and not work, yeah, that's usually when you're really sick.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
That's right. That's when the full-on jeepers, yeah, you need time off.
What is the most dangerous country you would consider travelling to?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't like to be in Iran at the moment.
No.
Yes, that would be very, very dangerous. Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? There's lots of global unrest at the moment. But yeah, that part of the world, there's not very good. But there's a lot of unrest everywhere. A lot of unrest in Europe at the moment. There's danger, for me personally, being a big burly bloke, I wouldn't want to be a woman walking the streets of in parts of London at the moment, or Sweden, or France, or Germany, or there's a lot of unrest. But that's it. I was lucky enough to draw the old boy number out of the box.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of difference between my fears and maybe my daughters who are in their 20s. There's I have got one of our daughters. She's living in Norway at the moment with her fiance, and she's living in a little bit of a rough area of Oslo, not Onslow. Onslow. You wouldn't want to. There's certain parts of Onslow you wouldn't want to be in either. But yeah, it's a different kettle of fish as far as sort of danger when you're a fella in comparison to these lovely young ladies that can be terrified out and about. Even catching Ubers home and stuff like that. It'd be awful to feel vulnerable. So I suppose those war-torn countries at the moment, hopefully it won't last very long. But I'm just going to turn that question around and just say, look, I'm feeling lucky that I am who I am.
Yes, definitely.
And living where I'm living. Yeah, it's that is something. Feel very, very safe in the community down here. We've got a lot of people watching out for each other. It really is a lovely community. So let me say that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap things up there, Duncan. How did you find it from your perspective?
Well, yeah, it was interesting. It was a different mix of questions. Those first two had me going, jeepers, how am I going to answer this? But yeah, it's very interesting. It's nice to actually be on this side of this side of this is the working side of the desk.
Yes.
But at the radio station, I'm having conversations with people a lot. So it's interesting having that question coming back at you, and then you've got to think on your feet. But it's different as well, because the way that I will have guests, I very, very rarely have questions down, and I just have conversations with people. I just want to find out my interest in whatever their special subject is, for whatever reason it is that I've asked them to come in.
Yeah.
Even if it's just because they live here, they've moved to town recently or whatever. yeah, it is. It's nice to have something thrown at me where I've got to go, oh, who was my first crush? Yeah.
A bit of a different perspective.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, very interesting. It's great what you're doing.
Yeah, so thank you, Duncan.
It's good. Yeah, thank you, Sean.